This is the Minisforum N5 Pro. Officially, it's a NAS, but in reality, it's something far more interesting. This thing runs a Ryzen AI 9HX Pro 370, has 10 gigs networking, PCIe expansion, and OCuLink ports. So no, this isn't a typical NAS. But let's start at the beginning. Inside the box, first thing out, the magnetic front cover for the drive base. Then the U2 adapter board, fine. Next, the N5 Pro itself, and yeah, it's heavier than it looks. Almost air fryer heavy in a good way. You got a 280 watt power brick, and it's a chunky one, plus the power cable. Then the paperwork and HDMI cable and Ethernet cable. That's it. Nothing fancy, nothing missing. Good start. From the front, it's clean and understated. At roughly 200 by 200 by 250 mm, it's compact for a 5-bay NAS, though physics still applies. Hard drives take space. The front cover is glossy plastic and magnetically attached. No lock, which isn't ideal, but it's solid and won't fall off by accident. Drive trays are 2 less for 3.5-inch drives with mounting holes for 2.5-inch SSDs. Status LEDs are clear. Up front you also get a USB-A and USB-4, which already tells you this isn't a dumb file box. Around the back, airflow is generous. 2 large fans cool the drive cage with separate cooling for the computer tray underneath. Think of it like a Minisforum mini PC bolted on the 3.5-inch storage tower. Not elegant, but effective. Rear input-output, it's stack. USB 4, HDMI, OCuLink, yes, OCuLink, USB-A ports and dual Ethernet. One 10 gigs Marvel NIC, one 5 gigs Realtek. Same connector, very different league. On paper, it's a 5-bay 3.5-inch NAS. That alone isn't exciting. What is exciting is what Minisforum decided to put inside it. Instead of a low-power embedded CPU, they dropped in an AMD Ryzen AI 9HX Pro 370, Zen 5 cores, a proper eGPU, an NPU, and crucially ECC memory support. And suddenly this stops being just storage and starts looking like a hybrid compute platform. Remove the front cover, undo 2 screws, and the entire compute tray slides out from the front. If you've seen other Minisforum platforms, this will look familiar. Under the blower fan sits the Ryzen AI 9HX Pro 370. And a quick clarification, you're seeing 2 units here. One is a barebone configuration, no RAM installed. The other is fully loaded, 96 gigs of ECC DDR5, same chassis, same platform, just different build targets. Minisforum supports up to 96 gigs of ECC DDR5. So mine is fully loaded, but you can buy it as barebones and spec it yourself. There's also a low-profile PCIe Gen 4 slot, physically times 16, electrically times 4. That's enough for storage cards, faster networking, or something more interesting later. Flip the tray over and you're on the storage side. 3 NVMe slots total, 1 for the OS, 2 for data. They support both M2 and U2, though U2 is limited to 7mm drives. Cooler, power loss protection, but lower max capacity. Bandwidth is shared, so no, this isn't a 100 gig monster, but for real-world NAS, virtualization and hybrid workloads, the layout makes sense. Out of the box, it comes with Miniscloud OS on 128 gigs SSD. Fine, but not while I'm here. I pulled the factory SSD, set it aside, and dropped in a blank 2TB NVMe and installed Windows 11 Pro. No one talks about this part. And quick silicon context, because AMD naming has officially gone off the rails. This chip, the Ryzen AI 9HX Pro 370, is Strix Point. Zen 5 cores, iGPU and NPU baked in. It is not a Strix Halo. That's a different monster, and I will cover that in the next video. Windows isn't embedded, so yes, you'll see the activation watermark unless you license it. Functionally though, nothing is locked, everything works. All drivers are available from Minisforum's site. Install was basically painless, no hacks, no missing devices, and once Windows is up, this stops behaving like a NAS and starts behaving like a workstation. You get remote desktop, Hyper-V, Docker, SMB and storage spaces. You can pull 5 22TB drives into one parity protected volume. One drive letter, one share, one very large problem for your backup strategy. With 5 SATA base plus NVMe, you're looking at up to 144 terabytes of usable storage. That's not marketing math, that's real. Geekbench 6 landed around 2,900 single-core and just under 15,000 multi-core. That's desktop-class performance inside something that still pretends to be a NAS. The iGPU scored roughly 35,000 in OpenCL, fine for media like Workloads and maybe some gaming, but we'll get there. Power draw idle with 5 large drives under 50 watts. Typical NAS workloads around 120 watts. Cooling deserves credit. On the thermal camera, the chassis stays cool. With all base installed, surface temps are low and even. With the base removed, internal hotspots peaked around 45 to 47 Celsius, never crossing 50 Celsius. That tells me two things: airflow works and this thing is perfectly happy running 24/7. Noise-wise, measured on the phone, there's a constant hum around 40 decibels. Not silent, but not annoying. You'll hear it in a quiet room, then forget about it. And before we move on, quick creative check. I installed DaVinci Resolve and cut the intro to this very video. Timeline was smooth, playback was clean, exports were exactly where you would expect for this class of hardware. Is it faster than my Mac? No. Is it slow? Also no. Honestly, I wouldn't mind editing on this full time, especially with dual monitors. And here where it gets interesting. This unit has 96 gigs of ECC RAM. CPU and iGPU share the same memory pool, so you're not capped by some tiny VRAM number. Reserve 30 gigs for the system and you've still got 60 plus gigs available for the GPU to run local AI models, chatbots, stock market tools, image or video generation. No subscriptions, no cloud latency, no your data helps train our model emails. Why rent AI every month when you can just own it? And the important part, even doing all this, there's still no thermal drama, which matters because now we do something stupid. Let's start sensible. On the integrated GPU, all the titles run fine. Newer AAA games, low settings only. Grand Theft Auto 5 enhanced at 2K hovered around 30 FPS on minimum graphics. So I did what no one else seems to have done. I connected an RTX 5080 via OCuLink, and yes, it works perfectly. Geekbench GPU jumped from 35,000 to over 240,000. That's not an upgrade, that's a personality change. Grand Theft Auto 5 now maxed out 2K 270 to 310 FPS. Starfield 2K maxed out 180 to 200 FPS consistently. Yes, DLSS frame generation is doing work too, so no, it's not cheating. If you play in the game and it feels smoother, more responsive and more enjoyable, that's the only metric that matters. Frame gen isn't a gimmick anymore, it's a tool, and here it works exceptionally well. At this point, calling the N5 Pro just a NAS isn't accurate, it's misleading. Now let's be clear, this isn't for everyone. If you want a simple plug-and-play NAS, buy something else. But if you want a chameleon machine, a NAS, a server, a virtualization host and potentially a high-end gaming PC all in one box, the N5 Pro is generally special. You can run Miniscloud, you can run Windows, you can run Linux or Proxmox and carve this thing into virtual machines like a digital apartment block. For the first generation NAS product, Minisforum did a surprisingly strong job. And with OCuLink already built in, this might be the most misunderstood NAS on the market right now. Pricing depends heavily on configuration. The Barebones version is significantly cheaper. You add your own RAM and storage. The fully populated ECC build costs more, obviously, but that's enterprise-grade memory, not RGB nonsense. I've left current pricing links in the description so you can check what makes sense for your use case. And just to be clear, this isn't even the most powerful Minisforum system anymore. Strix Halo exists. I've got it here. That review is coming next. Agree, disagree, hit me in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe. I know you want to.
Family Pop TV.